Hey there, everybody. I'm doing some research tonight and ran across something that you should probably learn about because the history books are typically wrong because there's a slant to them. That's your propaganda lesson for today, that things are often said to you in a slanted way. Claudette Colvin is in fact the woman who refused to give up her seat on a Montgomery bus 9 months before Rosa Parks, God rest her soul. But Claudette Colvin did it first. And let me tell you what Claudette Colvin did and what happened to her as a result. This is from a BBC article that I'm reading. So if you want the full story, you'll have to go there. Under the twisted logic of segregation, the white woman still couldn't sit down, as then black and white passengers would have been sharing a row of seats, and the whole point was that white passengers were meant to be closer to the front. But Colvin told the driver she had paid her fare and that it was her constitutional right to remain where she was. That's kind of what I'm doing with my struggle, because it's my right to stay right where I am on my property. Quote, she said, "Whenever people ask me, why didn't you get up when the bus driver asked you? I say it felt as though Harriet Tubman's hands were pushing me down on one shoulder and Sojourner Truth's hands were pushing me down on the other. I felt inspired by these women because my teacher taught us about them in so much detail," she says. I wasn't frightened, but disappointed and angry because I knew I was sitting in the right seat. The driver kept on going, but stopped when he reached a junction where a police squad car was waiting. Two policemen boarded the bus and asked Colvin why she wouldn't give up her seat. Quote, I was more defiant, and they knocked my books out of my lap, and one of them grabbed my arm. I don't know how I got off that bus, but the other students said they manhandled me off the bus and put me in the squad car. But what I do remember is when they asked me to stick my arms out the window, and that's when they handcuffed me, Colvin says. Instead of being taken to juvenile detention center, 15-year-old Colvin was taken to an adult jail and put in a small cell with nothing but a broken sink and a cot without a mattress. Quote, I was scared, and it was really, really frightening. It was like those Western movies where they put the bandit in the jail cell and you could hear the keys. I can still vividly hear the click of those keys. Quote, I waited for about 3 hours until my mother arrived with my pastor to bail me out. Money. Executive branch wants money. My mother knew I was disappointed with the system and all the injustice we were receiving, and she said to me, well, Claudette, you finally did it. After Colvin was released from prison, there were fears that her home would be attacked. Members of the community, of course it was a segregated community, acted as lookouts, while Colvin's father sat up all night with a shotgun in case the Ku Klux Klan turned up. My captors are afraid of ramifications from within their group or within the government. There's nothing to be afraid of. It just takes one person doing something different. And I pray to God that my captors are brave enough to be those people and to be the heroes of the world. Because I'm not going to stop talking about it. It's part of my life experience. And as much as the government might not like it, they can't do a thing about it. And I've done nothing wrong. And I've done nothing illegal. So, what better person to try and expose something horrific than somebody who's done nothing wrong? And a group of captors who have been caught in the middle. Because I have a feeling they want out too. God bless everybody. And remember Claudette Colvin. I don't know if she's still alive or not, but she deserves a really big award for being so brave as a 15-year-old. Rosa Parks, God rest your soul, rest in peace. Thank you for being the brave woman who probably could have gotten a much stiffer sentence for disobeying the law, because it's the law that African Americans sit in the back of the bus. You know what? Sometimes laws and sometimes rules are meant to be broken. That's what happens with bad laws and bad ideas. So just remember that. There's nothing wrong with speaking up and speaking your piece. Because thank God we still have freedom of speech. God bless everybody. Have a good night.